mis amigos, Leticia here. Hope your day is going well so far. I just wanted to address something that came up in the past few days. I know that Canadian and American media have been reporting on some cartel-related incident that happened in a northern state in Mexico. But of course, as usual, as media does, they like to sensationalize and blow everything out of proportion. Just quickly, I'm going to tell you what happened. So a few days ago, it was announced that Biden and Kamala were going to visit Mexico. They were going to participate in some forum in El Paso, Texas. Well, how interesting that literally a few days before, at night on January the 5th, this operation is performed by the Mexican military. At least that's what was reported that happened. And the Mexican military went and arrested the current head of one of the cartels, okay, in the state of Sinaloa, which is a northern state in Mexico where this organization has its headquarters, okay, that's where it's headed from. So I'm just wondering, do you think it's a coincidence? I actually saw Mexicans commenting that every time there is a presidential visit from the US, the Mexican government has to go and arrest one of the heads of the cartels, like just to show that they're doing something, that we're taking things very seriously. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you my impression of things. So first of all, this was a very isolated incident that happened in a town called Culiacan, something like this, in the state of Sinaloa. So it's strictly isolated to that area, and it's definitely very far away from, Playa del Carmen and basically the touristy part of Mexico, okay? And the question of safety often comes up in Mexico, and people are wondering, like, is it safe here? Again, I've been living here for the past, almost 2.5 years now. I came here as a single mom with my kid, and in my perception, it is safe living here. I have no worries. Like, it's not any less safe than living in a big city like Toronto, where I was living before. I wouldn't go out late at night partying drunk out of my mind. I don't recommend people do that. And even this operation, I mean, it was apparently during this arrest, 10 members of the Mexican military lost their lives, and then I don't know how many members of the cartel, something like 11. A number of people were injured. This happened again late at night, and it was very isolated to this area, okay? My perception of things is that the cartels are an open secret here in Mexico, and in certain Mexican states, especially in the northern states, they definitely exercise a lot of political and actual power, because back when I was in Canada, I dated a Mexican from one of the northern states who was temporarily in Canada. And anyway, he told me that in his state, this was Aguascalientes, the cartel, they built schools, they built roads over there. So they certainly have, in some areas of Mexico at least, they almost act like a parallel government, which for those of us who are freedom lovers, in a way, I've expressed this before, and I don't want to get political in this video, but I think having some official opposition to everything the government is doing, in light of what we've lived through the past 2 years, I think that's actually a good thing. Now, I'm not going to comment any further on that, but I just want to say, the Canadian and the American media definitely like to sensationalize things and blow things out of proportion. They even said that bullets were fired at passenger airplanes. Okay. The confrontation, from what I could see, did get close to one of the airports in the area, and there were a couple of airplanes that were parked on the tarmac. And of course, it would have been scary that happened, but I don't think that was necessarily intentional. In any case, most of you who are coming to Mexico are not going to be living in any of these cartel strongholds or going to border towns in Mexico. Like the town of Tijuana is notoriously known to be dangerous. Most of you are not going there. Most of you are coming to the well-known touristic areas, which, you know, I can tell you here we have in the state of Quintana Roo, we have both a new governor and as of the past few months, a new municipal president here in Playa del Carmen. And both of these ladies, they're both women, it just so happens, and I feel like definitely I've seen an improvement here in Playa del Carmen in terms of there's definitely police presence all hours of the day, especially at night. Like in the evenings, you see police and military presence. Not, you know, I think just enough to give people a sense of safety, and I feel they're on it, you know. I've also noticed that she's made some improvements to like the cleaning procedures. It looks like they're finally starting a recycling program, so I'm happy about that. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that, and just tell you that here in the touristic area, like nothing has changed. Everything is todo bien, todo tranquilo, and as usual, the media just likes to blow things out of proportion. So thanks for listening and hearing my perspective, and have a wonderful rest of the day, mis amigos. Bye for now.